I need to change everything. I've got to lock in, and I can't believe I'm wasting my potential. If these are the thoughts that you're getting late at night and you're over planning everything and under executing, this is the video for you. Now, a lot of us have these kind of conceptions of life where we need to create the ideal system, get into monk mode, beat 99% of people. These are the kind of ideas we buy into, yet we can't stay consistent. We have this burst of motivation because something happens to us. We make this huge fucking plan, and 4 days later we crash and burn. This video will cover the one single habit, which is actually easy to do because usually the problem with habits are that we tell ourselves that we'll do fucking 5 or 10 a day and we inevitably fail on it. If you do this one fucking thing, you will be consistent. I gave you my word. But before we get into the example which finally allowed me to remain consistent and changed it all for me, you need to answer this question honestly for me because you probably haven't thought about this yet. Usually we're trapped in this kind of mindset of we get fed up and angry with the little amount of progress that we're making and we just tell ourselves, I got to do more. You end up over-planning, over-analyzing, making a big fucking monk mode protocol, watching a bunch of Iman Gaji videos, and then you tell yourself, I'm going to have these high goals, I'm going to be David Goggins, I'm going to have motivation, discipline, whatnot, everything. We tell ourselves we're going to do everything, we're going to surpass 99% of people. What happens? Tell me, what happens? You always inevitably fail. Every single time, if you tell yourselves that you're going to do something which you're quite frankly not capable of, you've never disciplined for yourself for that long, you've never done that many habits every single day, day in, day out, why do you think you're capable of it right now? Every single time you have this attitude, it leads to this cycle and it goes round and round and round and round. And you will never break this cycle until you become conscious of it. So, no problem. The second type of person who tells themselves that, yeah, I'm kind of productive and they're just kind of cool with it and has fucking 6 or 7 out of 10 days. This person works a bit. They work for 2-3 hours a day, maybe 4. They're like, cool, I made some progress today. And they're like, let's do more because we can see the progress and that's kind of cool. And then we work a bit more. Notice how I said 2-3 hours and works a bit. Nothing out of ordinary. Imagine this. And I really need you to answer this honestly because a lot of people will be fucking up their own asses and up their own egos. If you worked 3 hours a day and you actually got the top 3 most important tasks that day done every single day without error, where would you be? Would you be in the same place right now? The 3 most important tasks, the day before you sat down and you analyzed it. Okay, what are the 3 things which I actually, if I did them today, I would be like, okay, that was a good day. That was productive. Only 3 things. If you did those things, you'd already be good. What are those 3 things? And if you did those 3 things every single day, day in, day out, without exception, how would you feel? If you had these kind of days, 6-7 out of days, you just get a bit done, but those things actually matter. I'm going to tell you how I fucking feel. I feel over the moon when I get these type of days. I never, ever feel these kind of thoughts. I never get angry. I never get fed up. I'm like, yeah, that's cool progress. And if you feel like you can still do more and you still have fuel in the tank, sure, go for an 8 out of 10 day, a 9 out of 10 day. But if you're constantly aiming for perfection and getting fucking 14-hour work days, especially when you're not capable of doing that amount of work, you've never done it before, what are you expecting? So the answer to the question is, in my opinion, if you actually just get a few fucking things done, the bare minimum, but those actually matter, you're going to be much better off. And this is the habit which allows us to do that. The habit is planning tomorrow, today. And before you click off the video, there's a very specific way to do it. Every single time I was a sick child, I was sick as a kid. And even when I was faking it, to be honest, I went to the doctors and they gave me a doctor's note with medicines on it, how many amounts of time I need to take it, what time of day, for how long, and these kind of very specific instructions which led me to feeling better when I did those. And honestly, we can do the same thing exactly for ourselves, not in the terms of medicines, because, the doctors fucking know better when it comes to medicine, but when it comes to doing the best for ourselves, we kind of already know what we need to do, right? It's just in the moment, we can't really decide what task to do. Oh yeah, I'll just go fucking play League. I'll just lie around on the couch when it's not clear to us. The number one reason why we procrastinate is because of overwhelm. It's because of lack of clarity. So if at night, plan tomorrow today, if at night we can just sit down in front of our desk, in front of our computer, and we can be like, what are the 3 biggest needle movers for ourselves? What are the 3 things, if I do them, I will be happy with how tomorrow went? Those are the 3 things we need to write down. So the first part of the thing that we're going to plan, the best thing to do actually, just before I get into this, is to grab a sticky note or something. I have this sticky note. These are the kind of things that I do. And every single time I write this for myself, I take it off and I just put it on my desk, like a doctor's note. And now I have it on my desk. And first thing when I wake up, I'm going to come to my desk and I'm going to be like, okay, I need to do those. The wiser version of myself gave those instructions to myself. And I know if I do them, I will be happy. So The first 3 things you're going to write on here, or 2 to 3 things, are going to be the non-negotiables. These things you're going to do. These are the 3 things which are paramount to your success. These 3 things should be doable in like 3 hours max. Honestly, if you agree to the previous point, you don't actually need to do that much every single day. If you just get like a 6 or 7 out of 10 day every single day, you're going to be a fucking billionaire in 10 years' time. The problem with us is that we are very, very emotional creatures and we can't really have this amount of clarity for ourselves. So that is exactly where Planning Tomorrow Today comes in. So these things could be literally anything. The biggest needle movers for yourself. You have to decide this for yourself. For me, it's recording this video, for example. For me, it's cleaning my apartment. We're selling this apartment. So what I need to do is I need to clean it and I need to make photos of the apartment to list on the real estate listing website. These are the kind of things that will move the needle for me the most. If I don't do these, I will look back at the day and I'll be like, what the fuck did I do today? Like, I'm not productive. These are the things that matter. Write 3 of these things out. And once you wrote 3 of these things out, you can write a few more if you want. Okay. These are the nice to haves. These are not like that important, honestly. This could be like, write a grocery list for tomorrow. Yeah, that's nice to have, but I could write a grocery list realistically tomorrow. That wouldn't ruin my day, you understand? This could be planning the ski trip. We're going to go skiing in like 2 months, but realistically, I could already start planning it. My future self would thank me, but realistically, if I don't do it, that's also fine. Write a few of these nice to haves, and you should have a list that looks pretty much like mine. Like this. And the final thing you need to do is to act as if it were a doctor's note. The wiser version of yourself gave you this note with the nice to haves, with the non-negotiables, with everything. And now you have specific instructions on what the future self of you should do. And you need to put it on the first point of contact in the morning. So usually for me, this is my laptop because I work online for the most part. So I usually just put this note onto my desk, onto my laptop where I'm going to be going. And I look at it in the morning and I'm like, I'll record. I guess I'll record. I have the instructions. I have the clarity. I'm not going to procrastinate on it anymore because I know what to do exactly. And that is how you stay consistent.